Our life journey is marked by choices, paths, and sometimes big mistakes. But imagine if these slips could be avoided, or at least minimized, if we paid attention to one critical flaw that many of us commit without realizing. This flaw isn't an isolated mistake, but a series of small decisions and perceptions that, when summed up, can significantly deviate us from the path we wish for our lives. In a world flooded with information and distractions, our attention is constantly pulled outward, making us forget what truly matters, the present moment and our inner connection. This shift in focus leads us to neglect our feelings, intuitions, and more fundamentally, the now. The now isn't just an abstract concept. It's the most immediate and tangible reality we have. By ignoring it, we miss the opportunity to live fully, to make decisions aligned with our true selves, and consequently, to follow a path that brings us happiness and fulfillment. Life is a collection of present moments, and each one is an opportunity to be fully engaged, to feel deeply, and to act according to our deepest values. Yet, many of us live on autopilot, repeating old patterns without questioning if these patterns still serve us or reflect who we want to be. Take, for example, the story of someone who, despite their many professional successes, feels constantly dissatisfied. They're always chasing the next achievement, believing that happiness is always on the horizon, never in the present. This is the big mistake, believing that happiness and satisfaction come from external achievements, when in fact they arise from a deep connection with the present and with our inner selves. How can we avoid this mistake? By starting to value each moment, no matter how small. By understanding that happiness isn't a destination to be reached, but a way of traveling. By reconnecting with the now, with our immediate experiences and our true feelings, we open the door to a richer and more meaningful life. It's not about renouncing goals or ambition, but about rooting those goals in the fertile soil of the present, where they can grow in a way that aligns with our true self. The illusion of perfection can be a significant obstacle in our life journey, distancing us from the true essence and beauty of living. Often, we fall into the trap of seeking an unattainable perfection, forgetting that the beauty of life lies precisely in its imperfections and the diversity of experiences it offers us. This incessant search for perfection can lead to constant dissatisfaction and the feeling that we're never good enough, which can profoundly affect our self-esteem and emotional well-being. The reality is that perfection is a subjective concept and often an unrealistic ideal. Instead of focusing on achieving perfection, we should seek personal growth, accepting our flaws and learning from them. Self-acceptance and understanding that making mistakes is normal are crucial steps to a fuller and more satisfying life. Remembering real-life examples of people who turned their imperfections into strengths can inspire us to embrace our vulnerabilities. For instance, great artists and thinkers in history often highlighted their imperfections as sources of creativity and innovation. Thus, the true path to a rich and meaningful life isn't found in the pursuit of perfection, but in the ability to embrace imperfection, celebrate the diversity of experiences, and grow from our challenges. Recognizing and accepting our flaws as part of who we are can free us from the chains of perfection and open the doors to an authentic and enriching life journey. Ignoring the present moment is one of the most common mistakes we make in our journey. We live in an era where the future always seems more promising, and the past a place of nostalgia or regret. But the true secret to a full and meaningful life lies in the ability to embrace the now, the only moment we truly have control over. History shows us that those who learned to live in the present found not just inner peace, but also the key to a richer and deeper existence. Think of the great spiritual masters, artists, and philosophers. Their greatest revelations, works, and insights were born from full attention to the moment they were in. Imagine if instead of incessantly worrying about what comes next, or lamenting what has passed, we could find beauty and gratitude in the simple act of breathing, in a friend's smile, or in the quietude of a sunrise. This change in perspective isn't just liberating, it's transformative. Modern science supports this view, showing how mindfulness and meditation, practices centered on the present moment, have a profound impact on our mental and physical well-being. They reduce stress, improve concentration, and even our physical health. It's proof that by valuing and fully experiencing the now, we're not just improving our quality of life, but also better equipping ourselves to face future challenges. The mistake of ignoring the present moment isn't just a failure to fully enjoy life. It's a barrier to our personal growth and happiness. When we learn to live in the now, every moment becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and connect more deeply with the world around us and with ourselves. Disconnection from the inner self is a critical error in our life journey, distancing us from the essence of what we truly are and desire. In an increasingly noisy and distracted world, it's easy to lose touch with our inner voice, the one that guides, comforts, and inspires us. The connection with oneself is the compass that guides us through challenges and uncertainties, allowing us to live authentically and aligned with our values and dreams. Ignoring this connection is like navigating without a map in a vast ocean. We may feel lost, confused, and unsatisfied, even surrounded by all modern conveniences. Therefore, it's vital to reserve moments of silence and introspection, where we can listen to our inner self and rekindle the flame of our existence. Real-life examples of people who rediscovered themselves after periods of introspection and meditation show that even in the darkest moments, light can be found within us. These stories inspire us to seek our center, the pure essence of who we are, free from external expectations and pressures. Making peace with our inner self is not just an act of self-awareness, but a pathway to a fuller and more meaningful life. By reconnecting with our essence, we open the doors to true happiness, creativity, and peace, regardless of the storms that may arise in our path. The comparison trap is slippery terrain that many of us often find ourselves in without realizing. It's natural to look at others and measure our progress, achievements, or even happiness against theirs. However, this comparison can quickly become a source of discontent, frustration, and even despair. Each person is on a unique journey with their own challenges, successes, and lessons to learn. When we compare ourselves to others, we overlook the richness of our own story and the value of our authenticity. The key to avoiding this trap is to cultivate gratitude for what we have and who we are, recognizing that our differences are not deficiencies, but what makes us unique and valuable. On the path of life, we often find ourselves so immersed in our own journeys, challenges, and ambitions that, without realizing, we commit a critical error, neglecting valuable relationships. Whether due to lack of time, poorly adjusted priorities, or simply the whirlwind of everyday life, we lose sight of the importance of nurturing the connections that enrich our existence. Our relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, are pillars that support our emotional and psychological health. They are sources of love, support, and understanding. Therefore, ignoring them or putting them on the back burner is like denying an essential part of what we are. Human connection is one of the most fundamental elements for our happiness and well-being. Consider, for example, the story of someone who, in their relentless pursuit of professional success, ends up distancing themselves from friends and family. Initially, the achievements bring satisfaction, but over time, a void is felt, a sense of isolation and lack of purpose. This is a valuable lesson on how the absence of meaningful relationships can impact our life, leaving us with the feeling that something essential is missing. Reconnecting and investing time and energy in relationships is crucial. It means being present, not just physically, but emotionally. Listening with empathy, sharing experiences, and expressing gratitude and love are fundamental attitudes. Modern technology offers countless ways to keep in touch, but nothing replaces the human warmth of direct contact, the tight hug, or the shared smile. Life is unpredictable, and we often realize the value of a relationship only when we face difficulties or losses. Therefore, it's important to value and cultivate our connections every day. Small gestures like a caring message, an invitation for coffee, or simply asking how someone is can make a big difference. In the midst of life's hustle, take a moment to reflect on the importance of relationships. Remember that success and achievements are important, but human connections are the true treasure of life. Nurturing these relationships is investing in your happiness and that of those you love. In the end, it's the relationships we build that add color, meaning, and joy to our journey. Don't let the mistake of neglecting valuable relationships distance you from this treasure. Resistance to change is something we all face at some point in our lives. It's that uncomfortable feeling that arises when we're about to leave our comfort zone, or when something new and unknown presents itself before us. This resistance is not just natural, it's a reflection of our intrinsic desire for security and predictability. But here's the truth we often forget. Change is the only constant in life, and more than that, it's the driving force behind growth and evolution. Imagine a seed buried in the soil. If it resisted the germination process, it would never become the majestic tree it has the potential to be. Similarly, if we didn't embrace changes in our lives, we'd miss the opportunity to grow, learn, and transform into better versions of ourselves. A real-life example of this can be seen in the stories of people who faced great adversities, but instead of resisting change, embraced it. These individuals often discover unknown passions, internal strengths, and a renewed purpose they would never have found if they had remained in their comfort zones. Resistance to change is like being in a boat sailing against the current. It might seem safe and comfortable to continue rowing in the same place, but it's only when we raise the sails and let ourselves be carried by the winds of change that we can truly discover new horizons. This act of courage doesn't mean the journey will always be easy. There will be storms and high tides, but there will also be days of calm seas and clear skies. What matters is that by embracing change, we allow ourselves to experience the fullness of life. So how can we overcome this resistance? It starts with accepting that change is inevitable and often beneficial. Cultivating adaptability, keeping an open mind, and a heart willing to experience the unknown are essential. Remember, every step out of your comfort zone is a step towards personal growth. Lack of forgiveness is an invisible barrier we build around our hearts, often without realizing it. It arises from past wounds, disagreements, and pains that, instead of healing over time, become deeper due to our reluctance to forgive. But here's the thing. Holding on to resentment is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. We are the ones who end up getting burned. Imagine life as a river flowing. Forgiveness is the force that keeps the waters moving freely, preventing debris and rubble from accumulating, forming barriers that impede the flow. When we refuse to forgive, it's like building a dam in our inner river, blocking the natural flow of our emotions and preventing us from moving forward. The story of Nelson Mandela is an extraordinary example of the power of forgiveness. After 27 years in prison, under an oppressive regime, he chose not only to forgive his captors but also to work with them to build a united nation. Mandela knew that forgiveness was not just a gift for others, but primarily for himself. Forgiveness freed him from the weight of the past, allowing him to lead with compassion and a vision for the future. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or justifying the harm caused. It means freeing oneself from the burden of bitterness and resentment. It means choosing inner peace over eternal inner war. When we forgive, we don't change the past, but we do change the future. So how to start this process of forgiveness? It begins with understanding that we are all human, fallible, and constantly learning. Understanding that forgiveness is an act of courage and strength, not weakness. It's a commitment to oneself to heal and move forward. The act of forgiving can be challenging, especially when the wounds are deep. But remember, forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that can start with small steps, acknowledging the pain, allowing oneself to feel, and gradually making room in the heart for compassion and understanding. Life is too precious to be lived in the shadow of the past. By choosing forgiveness, we choose freedom. A freedom that allows us to love more fully, live more intensely, and embrace the future with hope and optimism. Allow yourself this freedom. Allow yourself to forgive. Neglecting physical and mental health is a mistake many make without realizing the long-term consequences. We live in a society that values productivity and success above almost everything. And in this process, it's easy to forget to take care of our well-being. The truth is, our physical and mental health are the foundation upon which we build our lives. Without them, everything else begins to crumble. Think of health as the foundation of a house. If the foundation is weak or damaged, no matter how beautiful the house is on the outside, it will face serious problems eventually. Similarly, when we neglect our physical and mental health, we might manage to keep up appearances for a while, but internally we'll be struggling. Real-life examples show that people who dedicate time to their physical and mental health not only live longer but also have a significantly better quality of life. Regular physical exercise, a balanced diet, leisure time, and mindfulness practices are not luxuries but essential necessities to maintain balance and face life's challenges with resilience. Consider stress, an almost omnipresent factor in modern life. Stress not only affects our mental health, causing anxiety and depression, but can also lead to physical problems such as heart disease and insomnia. Recognizing that the mind and body are intrinsically linked is the first step in treating them with the care they deserve. Investing in our mental and physical health is not selfish. It's a form of self-respect. Allowing oneself moments of rest, pursuing activities that bring joy, and when necessary, seeking professional help are acts of courage. Remember, taking care of oneself is not just about you. When we are well, we can contribute more significantly to those around us. If there's one valuable piece of advice to follow, it's this: do not neglect your physical and mental health. See self-care not as an optional item on your to-do list, but as an essential part of your life. After all, it's the most precious asset we have. Taking care of our health is taking care of our essence and our future. Don't wait until it's too late to realize the importance of living well. Underestimating the power of small actions is a common misconception many of us make while pursuing big goals or facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. We tend to think that only grand acts and decisions have the power to transform our lives. But the reality is that the most significant changes often start with small, almost imperceptible steps. Consider the metaphor of a seed planted in the soil. Alone, it seems insignificant, but with time, adequate water, and sunlight, that small seed can grow and become a towering tree. Similarly, the small actions we take daily may not seem impactful at the moment, but over time, they can lead to extraordinary results. Take, for example, the habit of reading for 20 minutes every day. This might seem like a small action, but over a year it accumulates to over 120 hours of reading, significantly expanding your knowledge and perspectives. Or consider the act of saving a small amount of money regularly. Over time, this habit can transform your financial situation, enabling you to reach goals that seem distant, like buying a home or investing in your education. Small actions also apply to our health and well-being. Deciding to swap a sugary drink for water or dedicating a few minutes of the day to meditation may not seem transformative initially, but these daily choices can significantly improve your physical and mental health in the long term. This approach of taking small steps is supported by the science of habit. When we try to implement radical changes all at once, we often feel overwhelmed and give up. However, by focusing on small, consistent actions, we gradually build new habits that become part of our daily routine, leading to lasting change. Never underestimate the power of small actions. They are like stones thrown into a lake. Although the stone is small, the ripples it creates can expand far beyond the point of impact. By embracing the philosophy that every small step counts, you open yourself to a world of possibilities and continuous progress. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So what small step will you take today to move closer to your dreams? Ignoring the passage of time is something many of us do without realizing it. We get so caught up with daily demands or distracted by the future that we forget to live in the present. But the truth is, time is one of our most precious resources, and once it's gone, it can never be recovered. Living as if we had all the time in the world can lead us to postpone dreams, neglect relationships, and fail to appreciate life's small joys. Imagine time as the sand in an hourglass. Each grain represents a moment of our lives, constantly slipping away, regardless of whether we're paying attention to it or not. Like the sand that passes silently, the moments of our lives pass, one after the other. This analogy serves to remind us of the impermanence of each moment and the importance of living it fully. Think about the moments we spend checking our phones, delaying important decisions, or simply waiting for the right moment to start something new. These habits, often unconscious, can result in missing valuable opportunities to grow, learn, and connect with others. For example, how many times have we postponed an important conversation with a friend or family member, thinking there will be another time? And what if that time never comes? Therefore, it's crucial to recognize the passage of time and learn to value it. This doesn't mean living in haste or anxiety about the future, but rather cultivating an appreciation for the now. Small changes in our routine, like dedicating time to be with loved ones, pursuing passions, and practicing daily gratitude, can have a significant impact on how we experience life. Furthermore, setting clear goals and priorities can help us use our time more intentionally. This not only increases our sense of purpose and fulfillment, but also helps us create valuable memories that we'll cherish in the years to come. Time is a gift given to us, but it's up to us to choose how we use it. By becoming more aware of how we spend our days, we can start to make choices that reflect what we truly value. In this way, we not only honor the passage of time, but also enrich our lives with meaningful experiences and deep relationships. Let's value every grain of sand in our hourglass, living each moment to the fullest. We've come to the end of our journey today, reflecting on common mistakes in our life journey and how to avoid them. I hope you found in the shared words a beacon of light to guide your steps on the path you choose to follow. Remember, each of us has the potential to shape a full and meaningful life, as long as we're willing to look within and make the conscious choices that reflect our true desires and values. The lessons discussed are not just mere advice, but reminders that life is a tapestry woven with the threads of our decisions, actions, and more profoundly, our perception of ourselves and the world around us. At every moment, we have the opportunity to choose love over fear, action over inertia, gratitude over resentment. As you continue on your journey, I encourage you to embrace each moment fully, to cherish human connections, to accept changes as part of growth, to forgive, to free the heart, to take care of your physical and mental health, and to never underestimate the power of small actions. And most importantly, to respect and enjoy the precious time each of us has. May this reflection serve as an invitation to live with intention, seek personal growth, and above all, find joy in the simple wonders of everyday life. Life is an incredible adventure, filled with highs and lows, and it's our responsibility to make the most of every experience it offers. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Don't forget to like and share this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.